Everyone, quick, hurry, go take all of your money. Every dollar you've got, take it out of the banks because the banks are not safe. But first, we gotta make sure we have a plan in place before we do this because we still need the banks. Ironically, it's kind of catch-22. It's a double-edged sword. We're burning the candle at both ends here, and people are now very worried, very panic-stricken, concerned, anxiety, fear, stress, heavy weight on their shoulders day and night. Some even commenting and messaging me on Patreon telling me that they are having trouble sleeping because of all the stress, worry, and panic and uncertainty that they are ultimately feeling as though that they are unprepared for. With a resounding message being asked and just evoked from every single video that I share with you guys about the future of our economy, the future of the monetary system, the future of the dollar, the future of the digital dollar, the future of central bank digital currency, the future of cryptocurrency. With that being, one, how can I get invested in gold? And two, should I take all my money out of the bank? And folks, this is actually coming from a variety of different people in different walks of life. Everyone is experiencing their own certain level of frustration, panic, worry, anxiety, and fear with the looming recession. We're on the brink of a recession. And I do want to tell you guys that if you're concerned about the economic storm and how your IRA and 401k are going to fare during these turbulent times, top experts are predicting that now is the time to be protecting your assets with physical gold and silver. Find out why Genesis Gold Group is the #1 recommended company by your favorite preppers and homestead and financial channels. Receive Genesis Gold Group's free definitive gold guide today, or just click the link down in the description, hit them up on their website, or give them a phone call, 1-800-200-GOLD, 1-800-4653. Website is genesisgoldgroup.com. For everyone asking, are credit unions safe? Safer than banks? Should I take all my money out of the bank? If I take all my money out of the bank, where should I put it? I think we need to discuss the implications of just that. People are stating that I'm only keeping what I need in the bank to cover my basic necessities and expenses because I have to. My bills are paid through my bank. My checks are deposited, direct deposit to the bank. I receive my Social Security through the direct deposit through the bank. I receive my SSI through the bank, my SSDI through the bank. My child support comes in through the bank. So I wanted to go over that and break it down for you guys and just sort of clarify what this would mean if you were to take all of your money out of the bank and how little to leave in the bank, okay? Now, what I'm going to share with you is based on national average figures that were released by the Motley Fool at the end of 2022. And these are the national averages for expenses, right? And I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. $5,577 is the national average. Now, obviously, for some folks, this number is going to be higher in certain situations, and for other folks, this number is going to be lower. However, we're just going to use this as a baseline to understand basically what would be required in the banks to protect yourself, okay, from the looming collapse, bank failure, de-dollarization, introduction of CBDC, and executing on my important financial success and financial pillars of diversity, security, and cash flow. More so in this situation, diversity and security, because we want to have a diverse investment planning and preparation strategy that doesn't include us being heavy in cash in the banks, but we also want to secure ourselves and our wealth, but also our ability to conduct business and transactions on a regular basis for the necessities that we need day to day. Rent, utilities, education, travel, fuel, food, shelter. We got to have a plan and a strategy. If we only have goals, we only have dreams and wishing, and those are not sound and strategies in making sure that we are on track to succeed. We got to have plans, and those plans need to be practiced and perfected. And with that plan at $5,577 $5,577 a month, this is a baseline for what should be kept in the bank to pay your bills. Now, granted, you can pull it out and you can pay through another means, maybe like wiring money, like through like MoneyGram or Western Union, or going in person to pay in cash. But we all know that the acceptance of cash is being extremely limited and further restricted. So that's probably not going to be an option moving forward. But what I want to do is I want to look at this monthly number of $5,577, and I want to look at it on an annual basis. So for some on a fixed income situation, perhaps maybe retired, the number would be $66,924 that would be needed annually in your bank account to cover your expenses. So if that were the plan, I would say, all right, you know what? FDIC is going to protect me up to $250,000, up to, I'm insured on my deposits up to $250,000. This $66,924 clearly falls below that $250,000 threshold. I feel good about that. So theoretically, I could just leave that money in the bank and go on about my day and be good for a year. Perhaps, maybe. Because if there were some collapse of some sort, it could potentially affect your income and your cash flow if you're not diversified. If you don't have multiple layers of diversity and security to protect yourself in these situations. So maybe having 1 year of expenses in a safety net is a good idea. Hell, even Dave Ramsey wouldn't go against that principle. The drawback to that is obviously this money is not going to be making much money for you sitting in the bank in a savings account in the bank's digital ones and zero Ponzi scheme, multi-level marketing Ponzi scheme, as they then take your money, then distribute it 100% without having to actually keep any of it in-house. And now this ledger balance of what you have deposited, which basically makes you an unsecured creditor to the bank at that point, as you own the account, but you don't own the funds in the account, and you've given them the ability and access to do whatever they want with them. You just hope and pray that it's going to be there later, which we've seen instances where sometimes it's not, or sometimes the access is denied and limited and restricted, and people have to fight and hire lawyers and attorneys to try to get their money back, which then incur added costs. However, if none of that happened and everything was smooth sailing, then theoretically $66,924 would be the annual figure for a safety cushion to make sure that the bank had what it needed to pay your expenses, and then everything else could be stashed away, tucked under your mattress, buried in old coffee cans in the backyard, invested in other means of cash flow producing assets, precious metals, gold, silver, cryptocurrency, you name it, okay? But if and when we experience this catastrophic implosion of our economic, financial, monetary system, that will be a global pandemic, a global financial pandemic that Pfizer won't be able to step in and save us from, okay? Save us. It's going to take longer than a year to navigate and traverse this apocalyptic type New World Order environment post-Great Reset. So maybe this number needs to be multiplied again, as the banks may limit transactions in and out, but lock in what's there. Maybe 1 year is not enough. Maybe 2 years. So maybe 2 years and we go to $133,848 based on Motley Fool's 2022 average annual expenses or monthly expenses of $5,577 a month. So if we extrapolate and project out 2 years, then Everyone with $133,848 in their bank account would theoretically have enough to cover their expenses. And then all the other money, all the other assets, all the rest of your net worth could be invested and diversified in other ways. And now you've got a 2-year window that you don't have anything to worry about. You got theoretically nothing to worry about. You don't have to worry about earning more money. You don't have to worry about the bank restricting you the ability to withdraw cash. You have the money in the account and or theoretically as ones and zeros on this digital ledger, and then they can manipulate and make these transactions between one another with this phony money. But what if it goes past 2 years? What if we're not even at the point of beginning to recover in 2 years and we need to go to a third year? Well, just basic math, folks, $200,772. So, with that being said, should you take all your money out of the bank? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe if you do, leave 3 years of expenses based on this national average of $200,772. Just leave that in the bank and you'll be good for 3 years. And I would think that 3 years should provide some comfort. Relatively substantial amount of cushion as we, again, plan and prepare, continuously monitor and adjust and evaluate and evolve our plan and our strategy to survive this economic craziness, okay? We're still under the $250,000 $250,000 FDIC insurance limit, so our money is still theoretically protected. Now, granted, if we were to move on to a 4-year time frame, we're looking at $267,696. And if we were to move on a 5-year time frame, we're at $334,620, which would put us above the FDIC limit, which would then add to your level of risk above that $250,000. Now, with that being said, I feel as though it is very important for me to share with you and mention that these figures do not include added inflation, higher prices, price increases, and any unforeseen and additional emergencies and expenses that would be incurred along the way. So, basically, that means that each annual number would realistically need to be increased based on a percentage factor based on what we are seeing as far as CPI inflation numbers. And what I am seeing right now are raindrops falling on me as it is beginning to storm here. So we're going to have to cut this video short. But I hope this is helpful information for you guys on calculating how much money could potentially be needed to maintain and cover your basic necessities of expenses. This doesn't include any extras or any added ancillary fun money or entertainment or travel or things like that. No discretionary spending. But is taking your money out of the bank the end all be all? Is that the answer? Are credit unions safer than banks? And what if you can't take your money out of the bank completely because you need to pay your bills and use bill pay and things like that to transfer these funds back and forth? That's going to be up to you guys to decide. This is not financial advice. I'm only sharing with you the numbers, the statistics, and what could potentially happen down the road. Again, folks, please, 100% free links in the description down below. I hope you are considering diversifying your investment portfolios. I continuously diversify. I continuously work on my plan and my strategy to improve it and modify it and tweak it to adapt to the changes that we're seeing on a regular basis, day after day after day after day. Go check out Genesis Gold Group, 1-800-200-4653, 1-800-200-GOLD. And I wish you all the best. You guys take care. Be safe. I'll see you real soon.